This is the Family Style Podcast, Episode 2, Electric Boogaloo. Greetings and welcome to another fantastic, amazing episode of what is hopefully your favorite podcast in the whole universe now, the Family Style Podcast. We are on episode 2, and it's the podcast where you sit down around the dinner table with your dear old friends. And who are the dear old friends that I'm speaking of? Well, first and foremost, we have the boss of sauce, Ashley.
Hello.
And we also have, from the land of weird open-air toilets and strange Pittsburgh platters, Heather.
Howdy.
And a newcomer for the podcast this week, coming at you from 16 hours ahead of where we're at, a good, 15,000 kilometers away from us, from sunny, summery Australia, Uncle Tim.
How's it going? I had to keep straight with that. Sorry. How's it going?
Oh, yes. So we are back with episode 2. Episode 1 was a lot of fun, and we're really excited to be here. The game plan is going to be to, have kind of a rotating guest, 4th or 5th guest, depending on how we do it. So as people can kind of drop in, we'll just rotate different people in and out, whoever wants to be involved. If you want to be involved, familystylenetwork@gmail.com. Let us know. But otherwise, yeah, this is the Family Style Podcast, Episode 2. The title of the episode may or may not be Electric Boogaloo. We'll see what happens. Electric Boogaloo, of course, being a reference to a sequel that no one wanted. So who knows? Maybe we shouldn't have even done this episode. We should have stopped with one, but fuck it. If you're listening this far, let's go. So, as is the Family Style Podcast tradition, 2 episodes strong, we start the podcast by talking about what everybody's going to be doing for dinner this evening. You may not even know, so you might have to wing it, but we'll see what happens. This week, I'm going to start with Ashley. What are you doing for dinner this week, or this evening, rather?
Well, we had 2 different things for dinner. So I had myself a lovely poke bowl with spicy salmon and a connie salad. It was delicious. And I did the child chicken.
Spicy salmon. I
Ooh.
love the way you're like, a poke bowl with spicy salmon.
And she was doing it in her customer service voice as well. I have a spicy salmon.
It's like fancy.
Okay, sorry, what was that, Ashley?
So I guess what we were learning is we're going to have to do food reviews, except you're going to read the reviews, and then I'll cut the video up. So what we have here is a spicy salmon poke bowl. I support that. Okay, all right. Was it good? Was it? I do enjoy some good poke occasionally.
It was delicious. Love myself some poke bowl. It was payday, so I got myself a nice little pokey. It was fantastic. And then I ate it while I finished Call of Duty.
I've got to ask, is it poke or pokeball, like Pokemon?
I think it's actually pronounced, I think it's polka, actually. I think it's actually like almost like polka.
Like German folk music, that Bratwurst Betty down the lane.
All right. Well, as we do here, we do have the technology. How the fuck is poke spelled is what I'll Google right now. Or not spelled, but pronounced.
Pokemon. I mean, I'm a bit older, so I only barely know what a fucking Pokemon is.
It's pronounced poke. If you do not like raw fish, you will not like poke. So apparently, poke is very much like sashimi.
So say that in your customer service voice for me, Ashley.
Okay.
My next project is going to be a soundboard. So I just have all of these fun little phrases just at a click. Poke. All right.
Like your poke bowl?
Poke.
Give it a little head wiggle.
All right. So Heather, what did you or are you doing for dinner tonight in the wonderful land of weird French fry salads? Did you have a French fry salad for dinner?
No, I did not. It's not as fancy as what Ashley had. I had good old-fashioned Walmart frozen pizza. So I thought of Ashley with the sauce, and the toppings were heated through. They were cold. Like the internet says that Pittsburgh
you didn't scrape all the toppings off, bake the crust, and then put the toppings back on after the fact.
No,
go with that,
I mean I took off the olives because fuck olives, but I ate everything warm. So.
Yeah, Veronica doesn't like olives either, so whenever I get pizza like that, I have to pick all of the olives off before I bake it. you know.
Yes.
The funny thing is you actually pick
Right,
them
you're
up.
talking
Yeah.
pizza.
Pizza without
Quick-
it, they'll pick them off for me.
Quick segue. What are your thoughts on pineapple on a pizza?
See,
'Cause
I
it's a
don't
very
love it.
controversial topic.
I don't have an issue with
Love
it.
it.
I don't have an issue with it. Pineapple on a pizza
I
is
never
okay.
had it, so
What?
I can't hate. I never
What?
had pineapple on pizza. I can't hate, but I can't love it, so I just have to try it.
You guys are such a
Enough.
weird corner of the world in Pittsburgh with your toilets and such. Hey, I said and
I'm
such.
not mad. I'm just disappointed.
No, you've never had pineapple on a pizza?
No.
Damn. I'm adding that to
know.
the demerit list of shit you need to try when we finally meet up in person. Jesus.
Shit, you need to
I'll
get
drink it
started,
down with
girl.
that water ice from Ashley's neck of the woods.
Yeah, we got to figure out. We're gonna have to figure out how to make the water ice because I don't know any other way. We're gonna have to just. I feel like we're just gonna.
I'm digging pineapple on a pizza. I don't know this because it's predominantly a hot country where I am. So when you have your pineapple, it's nice and juicy and festive, like I'm on a tropical holiday.
Yeah, I don't mind it, especially like a good Hawaiian pizza. So like speaking, I guess I'll just use this as a segue to myself, and then we'll go to Tim. We're doing pizza because I eat way too. I didn't realize how much fucking pizza I ate until like I was talking to you fucks about pizza all the time in the Stoke the Fire Discord, and it was just like, God, we eat too much fucking pizza. Like I was sending pictures of fucking like, oh hey, did pizza for dinner night tonight in the food porn. Yeah, Veronica's like, oh shit, you're right.
No, we've all been trying to tell you this.
Oh, all right. Well, all right. Apparently, my family has been inundated by my enjoyment of pizza, and now she's eyeballing me like
Now ask what we've had for dinner tonight.
we got pizza. So yeah, tonight. Speaking of that, we're having pizza from
Pizza.
from a local chain called Hungry Howie's. They're a Michigan chain. They have like delicious flavored crusts and stuffed crusts. One of the pizzas is, in fact, a Hawaiian style pizza with bacon, ham, and pineapple. I'm a fan. I'm a fan. And then I got one that's got like double cheese. They all have stuffed crust. One's got double pepperoni, double mushrooms. Veronica wanted one that was green pepper and red onion. Yeah, good stuff, you know.
Yeah.
I thought Veronica would be like, if you order pizza one more fucking time.
Yeah, so I guess this is probably the last time I'll ever talk about pizza on this podcast now that I'm getting the death eyes from the old fiance over
I
there.
was just gonna say she's giving you the look of death.
She's like, you son of a bitch. Took you getting on a fucking podcast and talking about pizza to finally realize what we've been telling you for years.
I've got to say, I've always loved the photos of the pizzas that you've posted up, especially that time you tried to talk about a pizza being a Greek pizza, and I looked at it and I'm like, what the fuck is Greek about this? I think it had like a couple of olives on there or something like that. I'm like, where's the Greek?
Well, that
Where's
was
the Greek?
yeah, that one. I like to fuck with wacky pizzas, you know, once in a while. So you know, the Coney dog pizzas and the seafood pizzas and whatever, you know. I do what I do. So yeah, pizza tonight, and probably will never ever do that again since my family's about ready to kill me. Tim, what do you have any dinner plans or lunch plans or got any plans?
It's almost 1 o'clock in the afternoon here, so while you guys have all had dinner, I'm looking at what I'm potentially going to do for lunch. I haven't even thought about dinner yet, so my plan is to just drink enough coffee that it numbs my appetite and then make it a future Tim problem.
Future Tim problems. I like those.
I tell you what, though, you know, you talking about pizza now, you've got me thinking.
You are allowed to eat pizza still. Tonight's the last night, so I better enjoy it, I guess.
I'm a bit chubby. I mean, the man boobs are pushing out a little bit. And it's not just a Christmas thing, you know. I mean, we don't do Thanksgiving here, so I know you guys absolutely got smashed with the whole gorging yourself stupid for, like, about a month or so.
Yeah, it's a month.
Yeah. I'm about to go up a cup size, so I think it's time, but I probably shouldn't push it out, but I don't know. I've got some really good pizza joints locally. Like, just around the corner from where I live, I literally have 6 pizza places. So I shit you not.
I expect pictures, for sure.
Yes, I second that.
I'm gonna need
food porn section later.
I mean,
do it in the food porn.
let me just, let me live vicariously while I eat pizza as well. So I guess I don't need
Should I order a Greek pizza and show you what it's actually supposed to
This is
look
what
like?
Greek pizza actually looks like. It's got fucking nothing but olives and feta cheese on it. And then there's a little square of saganaki in the middle that they light on fire.
And it's like lamb or goat or some shit.
I do, so, Euros are pretty good, and like I work at like a grocery style store. We sell like Euro meat. The amount of people that come into my store and are like, "Hey, where's the gyro meat at?" I'm like, "God, fuck, gyro meat." They ask for gyro meat, and that spurs another food related. This goddamn podcast is gonna be about food. This is what's gonna happen. I'm gonna try to steer the ship somewhere else, but we got a couple more food topics to talk about. But anyways, so work related story that deals with food.
Conversation.
Work related story that deals with food. So I'm at the store one day, and I got a guy that walks up to me and he goes, "Hey man, where's the titty sauce at?" And I was like, "The what? I'm sorry, what?" And he goes, "The titty sauce. Where's the titty sauce at?" And I was like, "I don't." He goes, "The sauce has got the cucumbers and shit in it for the gyros." I was like, "Tzatziki sauce?" And he was like, "Yeah, that's shit." And I'm like, "Over here." The titty sauce.
Titty sauce.
Titty
talking
sauce.
like chocolate or something.
So, yeah, titty sauce. But anyways, okay. So Tim's gonna post some pizza porn. I'm eating pizza for the last time in my known life. Got some sweet polka, whatever.
Okay, darling.
And,
Okay.
Yodeling fish.
Yodeling
Also had
fish.
no idea it was not pronounced gyro.
And what? It's Euro. What?
I've been calling it gyro my whole life.
I have a Euro place around the corner as well. Awesome. But I whenever I hear gyro, it makes me think. Obviously everyone watched South Park back in the day.
Oh, yeah.
You ever remember seeing the old episode where Mr. Garrison invented like a gyro machine?
Oh yeah.
And
it goes
the
up your
way
ass.
he used to drive it was that
And you have to
ass in
do
his mouth, and it was. It's like, hey, we realised we don't actually have to sit this way. Like, fuck yeah.
I haven't seen that episode in years.
So when I hear gyro, my brain goes straight to that.
Well, now
That's how Uncle Timmy rolls.
forevermore, my brain is going to immediately go to Ashley going, "Yeah, gyros with the titty sauce."
Gyros with the titty sauce.
Titty sauce. Oh, god damn. Okay. All right. Cool.
Ashley, I feel sorry for you, Ash. You're going to cop this sauce for ages
Sauce.
now.
I mean, she's owning it.
No
She
way.
changed her name to Sauce. It's all good. We're good. I told you. I'm gonna reach out to a boutique hot sauce manufacturer, and we're gonna do a whole line of family style sauce. Just a whole line of hot
I want a shirt
sauces.
that says sauce. I'll
Sauce.
totally
Just
rock
sauce.
So you're just going to cop it mostly like, Heather with her serial killer basement.
You just gotta own it.
Yeah.
Oh.
I was still waiting for those. Like, I've seen enough American horror movies to know what goes on in those fucking basements you've got. Like, I know you're going to open the door one day and there's going to be like the two girls standing at the bottom of the stairs holding hands. Come
Don't
play with
say
us, Heather.
that.
Play with us.
No, I'm scared to go in my basement.
Come play with us.
Heather's main toilet is gonna break tonight, and she's gonna have to use the weird one downstairs, and like she's gonna be so mad at you.
And there's going to be
Y'all.
like knocking sounds down there and stuff like that.
Oh,
The light's going to.
don't do that.
She's gonna be so mad.
Hey,
Heather leaves the
Soft
server.
fucking serial killer basement. Don't blame me.
Well, don't scare me.
Technical difficulties.
Tell me more, tell me more. I was what Grease. I want to watch Grease again after Brendan was talking about the other day. Did you see that video? I stuck in the meme channel. Tell me more, tell me more.
I don't think
Does it
so,
put up a-
But
One
fun
with
fact,
Samuel
I've
L.
never
Jackson?
seen Grease.
What the fuck?
I'd never
on,
seen
so-
Grease. I'm sorry.
There we go. I just muted Ryan. How could you have never seen Grease? What the fuck, man? What is wrong with you?
I don't know. Great, now it's going to say Tim unfriended Heather off of everything.
Sorry about the guys. I'm back.
Sorry.
All I can say is this is life when you have a whole bunch of granddaughters all over the place.
Yeah, you're still muted because I muted you.
You fucking son of a bitch. I'm not muted. What are you talking about?
Tell me more, tell me more. Can he unmute himself? Tell me
No,
more,
I can't.
tell
He's
me.
not muted.
Can anybody
He
hear
is.
me?
I
Yeah.
can
Have a
hear
look
you.
in the. Have a look in the. What, you can hear him?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
You
maybe I
muted me
him.
for you.
Hang on.
Oh man, Mr. Technical. Mr.
Gotcha,
Technical.
motherfucker.
Mr. Technical over there.
Well, nobody said anything then until then. I'm muted you, and they're all like, yeah, okay, blah, 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 blah.
Anyways, all right. We will go ahead and move on into the next segment that we like to do on this show. I act like we've been doing this show for years. The next segment we like to do on the show, anytime anybody comes on this show and they're from a new region, we are going to make them describe their weird fucking food. So Tim is from as far away as you can possibly get outside of like Antarctica. So we're going to talk about weird Australian food. So, pulled up a couple of lists here. 22 weird foods that only exist in Australia. There's not a descriptor, so Tim, I'm going to lean on you to tell us what the fuck this shit is. First on the list is apparently Devon and tomato sauce sandwiches.
Oh, yeah. My mother used to give those to me sometimes when I was going to school. Like, I'm having fucking traumatic flashbacks now.
For those of us that are just listening, for anybody that's just listening, Tim is like got his hands on his head and he's like, "Oh God, I really disturbed him with that."
I know. It's like, oh my God, you're bringing up horrible memories for this poor boy.
You had to go straight for the gut, didn't you? Thank you.
It was the first one on the list. What is this? It looks like a.
And Tim's fucked off.
It's fucked up. So Devon is kind of like a weird ham variant. I don't even really know how to describe it. It's like this composite meat thing that's squished into like a tube.
The picture looks like Spam. Like it looks like our processed
kind of like that. Yeah, it's fully processed meat. It doesn't taste the same as Spam, but it's similar in style and consistency.
God.
Yeah, it's the cheap sanger to send your kids to school with. Just whack a couple of slices on some bread, squirt some tomato sauce, and she'll be right.
Oh God! Like when you say consistency when you're describing meat, I'm out. Like I'm done. Nope. Oh, it's got the consistency on this meat is exquisite. Like nope, I'm out. Nope.
You can
see. Cat.
I've locked mine out of the room at the moment. I've shut the door and she's out there meowing at the moment.
That's probably for the best. Oh, let's see. Next on the list, fairy bread.
Oh, dude, fairy bread. Yes, it's kind of like a children's party thing where you would get slices. It's got to be white bread, butter, and they're like multicolored sugar dots, basically, that were sprinkles that you put on there. And you talk fairy bread to almost anyone in Australia, and they're like, "Oh yes, I want some fairy bread now."
It does look pretty good. It kind of reminds me of yeah. Okay.
I've got a couple of mates who are British who are living over here. One of them has been here for about 16 years and has got 2 kids that they've brought up here. And you talk fairy bread to them, and they're like, "Fuck, I want some fairy bread." But a partner now who's a mate of mine who's from Wales, he came over and he's like a complete sugar junkie. And we're talking up fairy bread to him like, "Man, you've got to get some of this shit, like you've got to do it." And he's like, "Nah, I don't get it. I don't see what the thing is." I'm like, "What the fuck is wrong with you, man?" But you drop fairy bread to Daz later on, and I'll bet you'll get a similar reaction.
Oh yeah, no, we're gonna make him do the same thing because for sure. I need to hear. I like hearing. I want to hear the different perspectives on all this shit. Chico rolls. They look like spring rolls to me.
They kind of are. It's a consistency thing inside. Chico. It's Chico.
Oh, Chico roll. Sorry.
Not Chico. It's Chico. Chico. You got to get the mash of the words together.
Chico roll.
It's kind of like spring rolls with a bit of meaty stuff inside it, but they're quite nice. And you got to have chicken salt.
What's the consistency like?
Like a thicker version of a spring roll. With a bit more batter on the outside. But you got to have chicken salt, and I know chicken salt's not really a thing you guys do in the States, but chicken salt is fucking amazing.
There's nothing I like more than a thick, consistently meaty spring roll.
With chicken salt.
Especially with this one as well. It's got a bit more girth than a spring roll. So it is a bit of one of those, open the throat, relax the jaw, and don't forget to cut the balls.
I've never in my life thought of describing spring rolls as girthy, but there you have it.
Just, make sure you train your gag reflex before you have one, right? You'll be right.
Oh, how do stick jaw toffees work with your gag reflex?
How to what?
It says stick jaw toffees. It looks like toffees with those sprinkles from that fairy toast on them, or
I
fairy
have
bread.
no idea what they are.
All right, no, this happens. There was a bunch of stuff on the other list that people were like, "What?" Frog in a pond.
Frog in a pond.
Looks like
Sounds like pigs in a blanket.
it's
Or
not. It
toad
looks
maul.
like it's like a chocolate frog that's in. Hold on, I can share my screen.
Yeah, share your screen, please.
Y'all hating on my fries and salads, man. Come on.
I'm feeling very honest. Yeah, but you call like anything in a bowl that's more than two things a fucking salad, man. I mean, come on.
So there you go. That's it right there. I don't know.
Technically,
Jell-O.
cereal is salad for you, which I just don't understand. It blows my mind.
A breakfast salad.
Hang on,
Oh,
what's
that's
this
just
say?
Jell-O with a
Look at Jell-O.
chocolate frog in it.
Oh yeah. I've had. It's another kids thing. Yeah, I had one of those. It's just jelly. Yeah, with Freddo Frog in it. Freddo
Be better
Frog's
with
pretty
fries
cool.
in it.
Better from
Okay.
That makes it a salad then, because that'll be three things.
Okay. So what's a spoida?
Oh, dude, I think you guys call them like an ice cream float or something like that.
Okay.
So a spider is a Coke with a dollop of ice cream in it.
Ooh.
And like it's got to be vanilla ice cream, and they're fucking amazing. You can also do it with like creaming soda. I don't know.
Okay.
Do you guys have got creaming soda?
Yeah.
Some soda. Yeah, that's what
Yeah,
you use
cool.
with the root beer float.
But what's
Yeah,
the green
well,
one? What would the
That
green
would be
be?
like some sort of lime fizzy
Like
drink. I have no idea.
Mountain Dew or something.
Probably, yeah. You do it normally with Coke or with creaming soda, or like vanilla Coke is really good as well, actually.
Okay, I
Okay.
like those
Oh, yeah.
spiders. Not
A
the
spider.
fucking things that can fucking kill you.
He just wanted to be your friend, though, Heather.
No.
Oh, there's your chicken salt.
Oh, chicken salt. It's not actually made from chickens.
Is it just bouillon? What the hell is it?
It's it was something that was invented here in like the 50s or 60s. We had like a big Greek migration just after World War II, and we had all these like milk things that were called milk bars that would pop up every place. And it was this type of salt that was made, and it's got chicken flavoring in it. I'm not sure exactly how it's made, but like it tastes amazing.
I'd fuck with it.
Oh man, it is so much better than normal salt. You can have it on pretty much anything, and it just enhances it.
Musk sticks.
Oh yeah, it's another lolly. Oh, candy. Sorry. Yeah.
So this descriptor says these pink sticks taste of perfume.
I wouldn't know that. I've not tasted much perfume, but no, yeah, they're kind of like I couldn't think of what you'd have. It's almost like eating wax, but it tastes nice. It's got that sort of consistency. If we're going to keep going back to consistency now.
Okay. All right, we can. All right. Beetroot on your burger.
Oh fuck yeah! This is another Australian thing. You've got to do
I
it.
heard about that.
So beetroot on your burger. And also pineapple on your burger is an Australian thing as well. I think it goes back to like that hot country thing again. You want something that's kind of refreshing. You do it. But yeah, we definitely love beetroot here. There's an old joke about it, not you can't beat a root, which is an Australian slang thing. I'll let you guys Google that later.
Oh god. Yeah, that's probably on the same place as what the hell was it? The Philly fake out and the Pittsburgh platter and all that shit I posted earlier. What are pineapple lumps?
I have no idea, but I'm interested.
It looks like chocolate with chunks of pineapple in it.
I've never heard of it, but I'd go for it. Oh yeah, Pluto Pups.
Okay,
Definitely.
yeah, it says Dagwood Dog or Pluto Pups.
So you know how we were talking Devon before? That's basically it's Devon that's been dipped in batter and deep fried quickly. They're very nice. They're nice.
So it's like a corn dog, but with meat that's got a weird consistency to it.
And no
What's the
corn.
girth on that?
Cool.
Yeah, how girthy are those pups?
Well, if you want to take it all at once, you definitely better relax the throat.
Chalk ripple cake.
I haven't had that, but I'd be down for that. That looks nice.
It looks amazing.
Oh well, of course Vegemite's on the list.
Vegemite.
Oh yes, Vegemite. I used to hate Vegemite so much when I was younger.
But then you ascended to your true Australian form, and now you love it.
That's it. And I reached my final form. That's it. I think it was an ex-girlfriend of mine who used to have it all the time, and I kind of just started having it, and I finally got used to the taste, and I love it now. It is quite bitter, but once you get used to it, it's really, really nice. And you've got cob loaf is the next one. We'll get into that in a sec. But Vegemite, it's one of those things that a lot of Australians will eat it, but people can only take varying levels of it. Like most people will have a lot of butter and then like a light spread of Vegemite just to kind of balance it out. And I say that's always the best way to start off with it. I eat it like as if you're spack filling a fucking wall. Like you know when you go to like cement blend or something, and you've got your spatula and you put it in and you just flick it on and layer it on. That's how I eat it.
Wow.
Yeah,
No, thank you.
One day I'll give it the old college try. But
so if you do it, you just gotta ease yourself into it. Ease yourself into it. Let it take you out.
Ease yourself into the consistency of the Vegemite.
Soft candlelight, some nice music. Dim the lights.
Cob loaf.
That looks delicious.
Cob
Yeah,
loaf.
so-
It sounds disgusting, but it looks pretty goddamn good.
So this is, in your episode that you guys. Well, congratulations on your first episode, guys. I didn't even get to say that at the beginning.
Thank you.
Very nice. I liked it. I didn't understand most of the regional food stuff that you guys were talking about. Like, what the fuck are they on about? But, you guys had fun, so I was like, yay.
Well, yeah, Ashley lost me with her red gravy pasta dinner. I was like, what the fuck is that?
What thing is
Yeah.
gravy? No.
But you guys talked like about a soup bowl or something.
Oh, bread bowls,
So-
yeah.
Yeah.
So this is our equivalent of that. You get this big cob loaf, a big round loaf, and then you scoop out the inside, and you can either make your own dip and fill it in there, and then you can bake it over the top, and then you just break off the bits and scoop it out, or you can put soup in there or whatever the hell you want. It is delicious.
That looks really good. I like it.
Oh yeah,
Golden Gay Times.
it's as sexy as it sounds.
Golden Gay Times.
It's an ice cream that we got here, and it is delicious.
Looks like a scooter crunch.
It looks really good.
What the fuck
No,
is
the
a scooter crunch?
Looks like a golden gay time.
Oh, what are they called?
This is-
Eclair bars or something?
Oh, okay. Scooter crunch. All right. That's a weird scooter crunch.
It's almost like one of those national ice creams where we all love it. And it's kind of like, I don't know if it's like caramel or something. It's got like these bits of honeycomb, nutty stuff on the
It looks
outside.
delicious.
Oh, they are. They're so good.
10 out of 10, I could fuck.
Oh, yeah. And it also, you get heaps of jokes that you can make of it, like, want to step out for a gay time? Oh, yeah. Want to go around the back of the toilet block for a gay time?
Oh, yeah. Cabanossi or Cheerio?
Cheerio? I've never heard of Cheerio. Cabanossi it's like the little sausage. It's kind of like you can get these big long strips of it, and whenever you'd have like a party and you put out like a little cheese platter. You'd put cabanossi out on there as well and put some like little pickled onions and maybe some olives and stuff like that.
These
Really,
look
really delicious.
these look like what Americans would call Franks in a blanket or Cocktail weenies or whatever the.
Yeah, they're different to like the cocktail sausages.
Okay.
We have those as well, and we call them little boys
Little.
for the obvious reason. You don't, when you have cabanossi, you wouldn't normally do it in the pastry like that. They look like little sausage rolls.
Okay, all right. Cherry ripe.
Boy.
Whoa.
Oh, yeah.
What in
Cherry
the
ripe.
Christ is going on there?
Wow.
Well,
That looks
cherry
like
ripe is actually a chocolate. That's not a cake. So I guess that's someone has.
I was gonna say that looks like an American Black Forest cake.
Wow. I don't even care what the name of it is. That looks amazing.
Just like get inside of me. Yeah. That looks like someone has tried to bake a cake and make it taste like a cherry ripe. Cherry ripe's just a normal chocolate.
Oh, okay.
And it's like a dark chocolate with like a pulp cherries in it, and fucking delicious.
Sausage sizzle.
Oh yes, sausage sizzle. So that.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I'm hearing it.
Yeah. So we've got a chain of hardware stores here called Bunnings, and several years ago on a weekend they started doing a sausage sizzle out the front, and basically it's where people would come from the local community and barbecue sausages and hand them out, and they would raise money for local charities or local community groups and stuff like that. So that is basically shows how much a part of our culture a sausage sizzle is, that you can go to a fucking hardware store and buy one. I myself have made trips out to this hardware store just for a sausage sizzle.
Yeah,
what am I going to do for lunch today? Oh, could really go for a sausage sizzle. I might do. Depends on what charity they're supporting. Oh, possums in back braces sounds like a great cause. I'm having a sausage.
Yeah, we don't have any charities involved, but we have a couple of hardware store chains out this way that are like, they just have a hot dog cart for no fucking reason, like just because. It's like a whole thing.
For us here as well, there's even a process as part of our election process. We go out to a lot of places around to vote whenever we do our council votes, state elections, federal elections and stuff like that. And they're generally at schools or scout halls or community centres and stuff like that. And there's been a running gag for a long time about our democracy sausage, which is where you would go looking for voting. Yeah, you would go looking for voting places that do a sausage sizzle out the front. And some enterprising young person many years ago has made a website which is like the Democracy Sausage Finder, and every few years it pops out and people get on there and report where you can go and get your democracy sausages on, and there's maps there and people will literally go and look at this stuff to go and check out voting locations. It's a part of the culture.
I was going to say,
Who says Australians don't have culture?
You're very, very passionate about your cylindrical, consistently meaty objects.
Well, I mean, there's a controversy about it as well. I mean, is it a sausage sandwich or is it a hot dog? Because it's wrapped in bread. And people will sit here and fucking argue about it. And I'm just like, give me the sausage sandwich.
I saw, let me look it up real quick. I saw a...
It's sanger. It's not a sandwich, it's a sanger.
Sanga.
Sanger.
Hold on, here it is. Yeah, it's just a whole. This looks like shit, but yeah, it's you can't even barely see it, but it's a fucking bagel cut in half lengthwise, and it says, "Is this a sandwich? Please discuss."
That's it.
Anyway,
people get passionate about it. So, like during COVID, when the Bunnings, I was talking about it before, they pulled back a lot of the sausage sizzle places, and people were losing their shit about it. And then there was also the thing where, normally you would get your sausage sanger and you'd get fried onions and put it on top. Now, for an OH&S thing, Operational Health and Safety, you guys would have some other name for it there. They decided that they wanted to put the onions underneath the sausage because if it fell out, it was a potential slip hazard. People lost their fucking shit about it. There were arguments and people were like talking about boycotting Bunnings and stuff like that. Like, this is how much of part of the culture it is. I can't stress it enough.
You guys are fucking serious. To be fair,
around, man.
There's nothing I hate more than like so. Ash, I don't know if you can relate to this, but like a good Philly cheesesteak, like if they cut the strips super thick on the meat, you take a bite and you pull half the fucking sandwich out. So we have a couple places around our side that like they chop it up real good because then like every bite you're getting little bits and pieces. But like there's nothing worse than a good Philly steak sandwich where like you take a bite and half the goddamn sandwich comes out with you.
Or those
I
fake
only tried a Philly cheesesteak not long ago. Man, very nice.
Man. And it's really hard to fuck it up. Like some are better than others, but it's one of those things that's really hard to fuck up. It's like, thin shaved beef. It should be traditionally ribeye, but it doesn't have to be. You could use some other fuck shit. Peppers and onions, maybe a little mushrooms, some spicy cherry peppers on that bitch. For me though, fuck Cheese Whiz. I hate Cheese Whiz. It's got to be like American Swiss cheese kind of blend or provolone. Yeah, real cheese. Not that American cheese is real cheese, but like fucking Cheese Whiz. No, fuck Cheese Whiz. Ugh. Gross. I don't want fucking cheap Velveeta liquid, whatever the fuck that is, in my sandwich.
There's only like 2 places that do it with the Cheese Whiz. They're the ones that everyone knows in Philly, and they're overrated.
I was going to say, as someone that's from Philly, and I've heard this from multiple people, 99% of people that are really from Philly would argue that like the 2 or 3 places that you see on Food Network are not where to go for a good cheesesteak.
You're gonna get you can go up to anyone and you'll ask them where the best cheesesteak to get a traditional Philly cheesesteak, and you ask 10 people, you're gonna get 10 different answers. It's almost who's their favorite, who's in the corner, who does this. It's the one. It's usually the smallest place you can find in the middle of a neighborhood in the middle of nowhere. It's not the chains. I mean, you have the big ones which are Pat's, Geno's, and Tony Luke's. And Tony Luke's became famous because he's the first one to put it frozen in the freezer section and sell it commercially. But they're the big, 3 of the big staples. But it's like, no, you can go to like Mike's on the corner and you can get a fucking better one than that. That's usually
I think the rule of thumb for most food places is stay away from the chains because you're always going to get the watered down experience.
I really like Alton Brown a lot. He's a like celebrity chef kind of guy, and his big thing is like if you want to try the best version of a regional something, do not go to whatever city is known for that thing. That's where you 99% of the time you're going to find the best stuff. Like you said, it's not going to be the like, oh yeah, this place has the best cheesesteaks. It's like, no, that's not. Get the fuck out of there. Like it's probably like you said, it'll be some kind of mom and pop on the outskirts of the city, or maybe not even in the city, or 3 states over. That's where you're going to get the best this and that. For sure.
Love Alton Brown. Love him.
Me too. Huge fan. Good Eats. Oh, love that show.
Mm-hmm. Also, talking about all this sausage, I'm curious to see what your Facebook suggested T-shirts are going to be moving forward.
Well,
yes,
lasagna and cock, basically. Yeah, lasagna and cock mainly. Tim, what the hell is Nestle Milo?
Oh, Milo. It's kind of like a chocolate drink. It's another thing. It's fucking amazing. You basically, if you have it, you can either have it hot or cold with milk, but you never have just one scoop. You have like 15 really huge heaped scoops. You basically get one of those big tins and you just throw it at the cup, and whatever lands in the cup, that is what you're having.
So what you're saying is you like to add a little bit of milk or cream to your Milo.
Pretty much. That's exactly right. Probably just to make it slightly moist.
It reminds me of Ovaltine.
Yeah, actually.
It's similar, but better.
Got it.
Much better.
Australian Ovaltine. Oh, the insane amount of flavored tuna varieties.
Oh, yeah. Isn't that a thing for you guys as well?
You know what we have? We have tuna and then tuna with vegetable oil. That's basically what we got here. So it's either tuna in water or tuna in vegetable oil. That's basically what we got.
In my pantry, I have got tins of tuna and salmon, which would be like in vegetable oil, olive oil, tuna and chili, tuna and spring onion. Like it's a thing, and it's amazing. And it's always there as a good backup food if you don't have anything or you only want something light. You just go and pop open one of these little tins, or you take it for lunch, for work, or something like that. Be that person who sits in the break room and pops open the fish thing, Or better yet, go and stick it on a toasty and pop it in the microwave and stink the room out. You all right, dude?
We are good.
Are you all right? Yeah.
Before you move on,
Yep.
question: when you have your tuna, do you mix it? Because I know in the U.S. here, when we have the tuna in a can, usually I get it in water. I drain it. I mix it with mayonnaise. Do you guys mix it with anything, or you just eat it straight out of the can?
You can do either. Like I sometimes get it and might make up a little bit of rice and I'll mix it in with that. Maybe put a little sauce or something over the top. More than likely not. Yeah, or I might get it with the salad and mix it with that. Yeah, it all depends. Depends how I'm feeling at the time.
So I'm very much into seafood. I don't really care for tuna that much. I just
A little bland for me.
yeah, it's not even that. Just I don't know the flavor. I don't know. I haven't had it in a while, so maybe I should try it again. But like, shrimp or scallops or whitefish, things like that. But tuna, not a huge fan. Salmon, same thing. Not huge into salmon. I don't know. Something. I don't
All of
know.
our tuna and salmon comes from either around Australian waters or like down in Tasmania or New Zealand, and we have like pretty good quality fish.
Oh yeah.
So that's
I was gonna say.
that's all we use.
So in your case, your shit's probably like the best. Like that's probably where you should be trying some tuna. I would imagine.
Yeah, but definitely. If I was just saying to the girls a second ago, like my pantry, I've got like tins of different flavored tuna and salmon, and like I'll have chili ones, spring onion ones. I've got like sun dried tomato and all sorts of really really nice stuff. It's very nice, very very nice.
Yeah,
So,
nice.
It's not quite so bland. Yeah, it's nice.
Nice.
It's a nice.
It's fucking nice.
Tomato sauce on everything.
Sauce.
Tomato sauce.
What?
No. The Australians like to put red fucking gravy on all their shit. You bitches put red gravy on all your shit. Explain yourselves.
It's tomato, darling. Tomato.
Tomato.
It's tomato.
Delicious
No, I don't
red
think we put it-
tomato gravy.
It's a
I don't
tomato,
think we put it
buddy.
on everything. I'm kind of more of a fan of barbecue sauce these days. Sauce. God damn it, you tell me to do it now. Fuck you. But no, tomato sauce, yeah, I'm down with that, except on a Devon sandwich, because I'm just going to have those flashbacks again to my childhood. I'll be rocking on the floor back and forth. There is no God, there is no God.
Devon, God, I'm sorry, but like Devon's like a name over here stateside, and Devon sandwich sounds like some weird freaky sex thing. Like, yeah, I gave her the old Devon sandwich last night.
Oh yeah, face full of Devon. Yeah, we know how it goes. Devon is a name here as well. I've known a few guys.
I
named
gave her
Devon.
the old face full of Devon. Jesus Christ. Oh, what the fuck is meat pie? I know what a meat pie is. These look delicious.
Yeah, I heard of that.
Meat. I didn't know that this was mostly purely an Australian thing until not long ago, and that we invented the meat pie. I mean, it just sounds so obvious.
So I don't know if your guys is anything like this. So up in like the super far north in Michigan, like 6 hours from here, we have what's called a pasty, and it's basically like a pot pie, vegetables and meat, and it's handheld. That's kind of what this looks like.
Yeah.
It's like a flaky, crispy crust.
We have pasties here as well. They're usually vegetable, but yeah, pies.
Oh,
here,
see, here pasties are what covers your nipples. That's what pasties are. Pasties is what we call the meat pie. I can see Ashley just losing her shit.
You're talking nipple tassels. Pasty here is someone who sits inside too long. You know, they go outside and they've got pasty skin. So, like most of our British brethren would be in that category. But no, meat pie, yeah. So it's kind of like a handheld thing. There's an art form to it as well. You'll generally, if you go to like a local bakery or something like that, you'll buy it and it'll come like a little alfoil tin, and you've got to eat it out of that without spilling it. But it's delicious, especially in winter. My God, you can go out and you can get all these different flavors as well. So it's not just a standard meat pie. You might get a lamb and rosemary, or a steak, cheese and bacon, or chicken camembert. You know, like you'll get all these different flavors as well. So good.
That sounds outstanding. That sounds outstanding.
No.
I got one more list we'll bang through real quick. So apparently you guys aren't satisfied unless your burgers are overflowing with shit. Hey, there's pineapple.
Yeah.
That's an egg. I do like egg on a burger.
And I see some beetroot as well. Because you can't beat a root.
All right.
And there's fries.
Yep, sausage sizzles on a car park. We just talked about that. There you go. That does look delicious.
On top.
That does look delicious. I gotta say.
It only cost you like $2 as well, which is really good.
Calling sugar on bread a kid's party food. Starting your day with fermented. Oh God, when you call it fermented yeast bread, it sounds so much worse. Is that what that shit is? Jesus Christ!
Effectively, but it is full of vitamins and stuff. It's actually really good for you. It just tastes a little bit bitter.
Saying it's good for me doesn't make me want to eat it anymore. I don't think.
Fermented and the consistency.
Fermented yeast paste. So what's the difference between Vegemite and Marmite, I wonder?
Vegemite is a lot better.
Oh, okay. Well,
If you get any of our British family on here, they'll say the exact opposite. I think Benji was talking.
I was going to say Benji just entered the chat.
Marmite is kind of like runnier, and he said it's kind of like treacle, which is like thick honey molasses type shit.
So how do you make Vegemite sound worse? You say it's runny. that's all right. I'm out. Runny fermented yeast. Oh, okay. All right.
It's really good. You can mix it with pasta sauce, and it's amazing. Or you put it in like a broth or like a beefy broth type of thing, and it really enhances the flavor.
All right, get some gelatinous yeast extract that's a little more runny and put it in with your sauce, your gravy. You're good. You're good.
Weird over here.
Oh, there we go. Eating chicken flavored salt, which definitely has no chicken in it. How do you get chicken flavoring if there's no chicken anything in it, though? That's what I don't understand.
Is it fermented?
Is it fermented? Frying up our native fauna on the barbecue.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, crocodile. Crocodile. Dude, so I've never had kangaroo, but I have had crocodile and alligator. It's pretty good actually. I'm a fan.
Yeah.
It is good.
I had some croc for the first time a couple of years ago.
The best way I can describe it, it's like fish and poultry combined almost.
And there's like a lot of cartilage in it as well.
Yeah.
You're just pulling bits out of your teeth all the time. I just don't.
Yeah, it's not as like if you can get past the disconnect of what you're eating, it's not bad. But alligator's the same way. It reminds me of like literally like if you had like chicken and like a white fish, like a cod almost mixed together, kind of. It's like more dense than like fish though. It's weird. But yeah, you're right. It's more chewy for sure.
Oh yeah, but kangaroo is amazing. It is so good. It's kind of gamey, but
that makes sense.
It's really they don't make honking sounds, Heather.
That was my favorite goddamn thing. So for anybody listening that obviously is not a part of the community yet, which why the fuck aren't you? Get in the Discord, guys. For whatever reason, Heather was like, yeah, kangaroos making that honking sound or whatever. Like Heather was under the impression that kangaroos honked.
I fucking lost it when I read that.
Dude, I was laughing so hard. Like it was like...
No, everyone knows they shriek.
Well, no, they don't. They clearly stateside, we think they honk.
No, they're like those goats that I was talking about as well. They keep making all those noises like, ah! Kangaroo shriek.
Vincent loves those videos, by the way.
Here we go.
He'll just walk in a room.
But yeah, definitely, if you guys can ever get kangaroo in like your butcher or anything like that,
Are you YouTubing a kangaroo noise?
No, I'm YouTubing goats screaming like humans.
Oh. You're so weird.
It's hilarious.
Their eyeballs freak me out.
Oh my god, it's a kangaroo.
Is that...
What? So speaking of this, I ended up going out and buying that Goat Simulator game the other day. When we were talking about it. I haven't played it yet. It's on my list to do, but yeah, I think it was after we were talking about this. I'm like, I've got to fucking
Yeah,
get that
Goat Simulator
game.
is I don't even know how to fuck to describe it. It's a sandbox. Like that's probably the best way to describe it. It's a sandbox game, but it's highly recommended.
I like the good, stupid fun. Something I can sit there and cackle at. Like
It's
I'm down with
definitely
that.
stupid fun. It definitely is.
I'm
Like
the sort
there's
of
kind
that's
of
the sort of
like
games
no
I like.
point to it. There's no point to the game. You just do like it'll give you like an objective to do. You don't have to do it, but like it's like lick a battery or something stupid. Like, it's just dumb shit.
Well, there's all these add-ons you can get for it as well. Most of them came with the pack. Like one of them was like an MMORPG add-on, and you're walking around like a medieval town and shit like that. As a goat.
Yeah,
I'm like,
Vincent,
fuck, all right.
Let's go.
has all that.
I think there's
He
like
has all of that.
there's like 2 sequels too. I think there's a third one that just came out a little bit ago.
Yeah. Vincent
So,
got all the downloadable content with the Goat Simulator. Like, there's a spin-off of a game called Payday, like your gangsters.
Oh yeah.
I've
Up in
got that
space.
came with it as well. Yeah, and it's literally like a fucking goat as a gangster going to go rob a bank or something like that. I'm like, I'm down with
I'm
that,
in.
man.
Let's go. Goat Theft Auto.
It's
Fucking goats.
Tim, what the fuck are wheat bricks?
no, it's Wheat Bix.
There's an R there though.
Yeah.
They've spelt it wrong. It's WEETBIS.
Oh, Weetabix. I know what Weetabix is. Well, this says wheat bricks. I don't know.
Weetabix.
I know what Weetabix is. It's basically like Melba toast, but worse.
Yeah, these authors are obviously racist. Weet-Bix is really good. No, Weet-Bix is lovely. You get it on, you put a bit of hot water on there just to kind of make it slightly soft, and pour milk, and you put a bit of thickened cream and some brown sugar on top. Brown sugar.
So what you're saying is it's awful unless you add a bunch of shit to it.
I don't know. I remember once getting really stoned years ago, and I sat there and ate half a box dry. That was really good then.
Dry. How dry do you want it? I'm gonna make it.
Looks
I'm gonna make it so dry for you.
fucking sawdust.
Yeah, it actually. Yeah, it looks like particle board.
It does kind of look like a bit of chipboard. Yeah.
Soaking a meat pie in pea soup sounds goddamn delicious. Holy crap!
It's called a pie floater. It's called a pie float.
It's called a pie floater.
Yeah, very nice.
Dude, I could
Very
fuck with
nice.
that. That's very nice.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
That
very
does look
nice. Burger flavored chips. What say you about burger flavored chips?
Another thing I think that my mum overdid for me when I was a kid. I can't deal with them now.
So we had
Burgers.
there's a company Frito-Lay out this way that like does all the different chips and this and that, and they were like a couple years back they were doing all these weird flavored chips, like it was just a whole huge thing. They came up with like biscuits and gravy flavored chips, which sounds like, oh, that'd be amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And you eat them and you're just like, it tastes like it sounds, but I kind of just wish I was eating biscuits and gravy because the mouthfeel is weird. Like it's crunchy, it's potato chips. It's not, and you're just kind of like
biscuits and Timland is like cookies.
oh yeah, I say biscuits and gravy, and he's like, "Oh my god, it's red sauce and cookies." Ugh.
Yeah. Aren't biscuits for you guys like bread rolls or something?
Yeah, it's like a dinner roll almost.
Yeah.
It's
why it confuses me.
Well, it's weird though because biscuits aren't. They're not bread though. They're denser than that. It's a completely different thing than bread. Because like traditional like Southern biscuits, where they come from, typically have like it's like butter, flour, and then maybe some buttermilk. Like it's the very little ingredients, and they're super dense. They're very dense.
Yeah.
So you would say your biscuit is hard. It's not limp.
No, well, it's it's sturdy. I have a sturdy biscuit.
Your biscuit is definitely not limp.
No, my biscuit can handle plenty of gravy.
Okay.
It can handle the nookie. Come on, the nookie.
That's it. Thank you. I saw Ashley start to giggle there. She knew what was going down.
God damn it. Serving up a classy platter of processed meat and cheese cubes. That's very Australian.
There's all the cabanossi in the top right and left hand corner. We have more cut up and slightly longer cabanossi. I could eat all of that.
Don't get me wrong. I'm not judging. I would fuck with it. It just makes me laugh because, like, for me, this looks like you got salami, some Slim Jims, cheese cubes, some lunch meat ham.
Meatballs.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, what they're missing is the little crack. What's missing is the little cracker biscuits that you're supposed to get and pop all this stuff and roll it up and pop it on and eat it all together.
This looks like a really low rent version of a charcuterie board that we would have stateside, where it's like fancy meats and cheeses. Except this looks like the budget Walmart version.
Yeah.
The clearance bin.
A charcuterie board is basically the same thing with some olives and some sun-dried tomato on, and probably on a longer platter, and would cost 3 times more.
That is
effectively the.
Hey, judgment-free zone. I would eat the fuck out of all the things here, especially if there were crackers involved. If you throw some like carbohydrate, like I could only eat like, so many pieces of weird processed Australian meat. But if you throw some like carb in there, like carbohydrate that's salty to kind of balance that out, I'd eat half the goddamn tray.
That's great.
You definitely got to get like your little.
Description you just gave sounded amazing. I can't. Only so much of that Australian meat. Only so much. But if you
Fuck
put
off.
saltiness in there.
God damn it.
Well, hello there.
And I'll eat it.
I didn't say anything about anything in my mouth, but
That's what I heard.
See,
Brian's getting busted.
deep frying cabbage rolls. What the fuck are cabbage rolls?
And moving on.
That's your big
your
girthy
chicken roll.
Yeah, that's your big girthy Chico roll.
Yeah.
They just look like giant
so
egg rolls.
It's cabbage and meaty stuff. I don't know, but it tastes good. It's one of those things where you're eating shit, but you just close your eyes and put yourself in your happy place when you do it. Close your eyes and think of Paris.
That also sounds like something a male prostitute would say as he was kind of going about his day.
That's pretty much.
Yeah.
In
Having
between
strange but iconic national dessert. What the
That's pavlova.
fuck is that?
Yeah, that's a
Looks like
pavlova.
white pancakes with strawberries on.
Pavlova.
Crispy egg whites and cream.
Pavlova is fucking amazing.
It's an
got
omelet
like
with cream? Like, what the fuck is going on there?
So you've got kind of like a sugar shell type of thing. It's kind of like a hard shell. Then you've got this whipped cream stuff in there. It's like really aerated and it's really nice. Then you put like passion fruit sauce in it. And then you would have your thickened cream and strawberries and some more of the passion fruit sauce stuff on the top. And you'd probably get some like that cream in a can that you shake up and whatever
Cream.
the fuck it is.
Yeah,
Whipped cream, thank you. Yeah, put that on top. Yeah, it's amazing. And there's always a big argument between us and New Zealand as to who actually invented it. And we'll sit there and it's like, no, it was us. Not like, fuck you, bro, it was us. And we'll sit there and just argue about it.
It does look pretty. It looks interesting, but I would definitely try it.
Pav is amazing.
Servo sausage rolls.
Sausage rolls are
I
awesome.
knew that part.
40% bigger. King size sausage roll.
That's what he said.
Hey. It says
All good.
It says 420. Is that a brand that you guys say?
Yeah, 4 and 20. Yeah,
Oh, 4
it's a
and
brand.
20.
They do sausage rolls, pies, and pasties.
Is it related to being high as balls when you eat this shit, or?
This has been around a lot longer than that, which is why that was another thing when that whole thing started up. We're all sitting there going, meat pies? Like, what? What are they talking about? Why do they keep going on about 420? Yeah, we'll send them some meat pies or sausage rolls if they want. Like, oh, weed. Okay.
Yeah, to be fair, I don't even know where the 420 thing came from over here. It just kind of is a thing that just, 420, please. Please.
Yeah. And we're like, yeah, meat pie.
Asian-inspired
I'm playing.
sides with fish and chips. What the fuck is this? Is that a wonton with...
Looks like crab rangoons.
Did you know that dim sums are an Aussie invention? What?
I
You
did
guys
not.
invented dim sum?
I did not know that.
All
But
right.
yeah,
All right.
dim
The
sims are
more
amazing.
you know.
Steamed or deep fried, so good.
It's so good.
Chef's kiss.
Mm-hmm.
Recreating spoilers with 3 ingredients.
What's with you and spiders?
We don't
Why?
need. Well, what's that? I was joking the other day that apparently Australians have got an unhealthy obsession with spiders, or an unhealthy relationship with them, because they're everywhere. They're like, yeah, of course you're going to recreate them as a child's party favorite.
Oh god, grandma lollies? What the fuck are? It looks like bubble gum.
That says
It looks very
sticks.
airy.
Oh, those weird stick things.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Like
Liquid-
circus.
Okay, so now you can see my screen. This is what I was talking about before with those
That's
weird
what we were talking
chews.
about.
Yeah.
I know that. Yeah, I know those now.
Okay.
Yeah, those things will break your fucking teeth in half.
Chicken parmas. You guys like chicken parm?
Ooh.
Love me some chicken parm.
So it depends where you are in Australia as to what that is actually called. Some
Okay.
places call it a parma, some places call it a palmy, and some places will spell it differently as well, like Parmi or Y, and the various states will argue about it. Yeah, it's hilarious.
So what
We
needs
have
to happen, I feel like when we have Daz go through this, we need to have Tim sit in so that they can go back and forth on what regionally, since Daz is from a completely different part of Australia.
Yeah, so he's from Queensland. He's about 1,000 kilometres north of where I live, and we do have those regional differences. So he'll call a palmy something different, and we'll have different size beers as well, which we'll argue about. Or we have these things called potato scallops, which we'll argue about those as well, because some places call them scallops, some call them potato cakes. It's really fucking weird, but it's hilarious. And we all argue in good, like really good-naturedly about it, but yeah, it gets real.
Chicken parm is good for sure. I tend to be partial to eggplant parm.
Yeah.
I make a very good eggplant parm from scratch. My fiance can attest to. Eggplant parm, chef's kiss.
Yeah, I love eggplant palming.
Oh, me too.
Veal palming is really good as well.
Oh yeah.
And
Except I feel real gross eating veal just because of how the meat comes about, but it is good.
Chicken palming, I've always said it's one of those things you can judge a restaurant or a pub or an RSL club in Australia as to their chicken palmies, because it's a staple dish that you'll get absolutely everywhere. So if their palmy's really good, then everything else on the menu is going to be really good. But if they fuck up a palmy, I would be getting out of there.
All right, that's
Straight up.
room temperature prawns and mayonnaise.
So this is the only time we will ever call it a shrimp. We don't call them shrimp here. They're prawns. But shrimp cocktail is the only time we'll ever do it.
But
And
room
it's not
temperature?
really-
It's supposed to be chilled.
not.
What's wrong with you savages?
It's not. We haven't chilled. I don't
So
know
that's
what's going
kind
on.
of a salad. Looks like a salad.
Well, it's got three
No.
things: being lettuce, prawns, and it's a seafood sauce. It's not mayonnaise.
You got greens, you got dressing, and you got a protein. It's a fucking salad. Hey!
Oh, baby, just get some fries.
It's called Thousand Island dressing. I don't know if you guys have that
Yeah,
there.
we do have that.
Yeah.
It's basically like Thousand Island is basically like a little bit of relish mixed with mayonnaise and ketchup is effectively Thousand Island.
Yep.
Yeah.
Which gives you that kind of fruity face, like you're on a tropical holiday.
Yeah, it's a little bit sweet and a
like
little bit.
pineapple and a pizza.
Temperature
Yeah,
shrimp.
but that's the only time we'll ever call it shrimp.
Oh,
So there's no chucking a shrimp on your barbie or any of that shit.
shrimp on the barbie. Yeah, just like your guys' national restaurant is Outback Steakhouse, right? That's how all Australians eat, isn't it? Isn't that what it is? I got one down the street. I go there and I think of you every time, Tim.
I've got to say, we've got a couple of those here.
Isn't there
I
like
love this
one in Sydney that's basically just there for the tourists?
Pretty much. I think I know of one or two, and I love the blooming onion that they do.
Oh, don't get me wrong, that's delicious, but that's
Oh,
not
nice.
that's not a thing anywhere but Outback Steakhouse.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it. Like everything else, like I have no idea what they're. And it's funny, like they try to market to us as being an Australian place as well, and we're like, what the fuck are you on about?
Right.
Yeah, that's like if it just like we're gonna open a chain of American style diners, and it's just gonna be like the most absurd.
just suddenly become conscious of how much I've sworn so far. I wasn't joking before when I said about swearing and sarcasm being a part of the national identity, and I've just realised you probably should have just had a Tim swearing counter running at the bottom.
I
So
mean,
not a
I
cunt
can,
counter,
I
but
can,
just a
I told
swearing
you, I
counter.
can, yeah, I can just have a little beep. We'll have two separate ones. There'll be the cunt counter over here, and then the swearing counter over here. Oh, that way. It'll be good. What say you about milk flavored chewy sticks?
Oh, yeah. I haven't had those since I was a kid, but they're nice.
They don't sound nice. They sound terrible. Milk flavored chewy sticks. That sounds like a dog treat or something.
Or Tootsie Roll.
They're not. I wouldn't call them milk flavored. They're kind of like a creamy vanilla-y flavor, and they've kind of got like that hard caramel type of.
See, I can see like you. This is the problem with your weird Australian food. Like once you describe what it is, it sounds way better than whatever it's called. You know, like it seems like the names for the Australian foods are really kind of not doing them a service.
Fermented yeast spread. With the consistency of fucking drywall. Yeah.
Oh, shit, Tim, I love you.
It was the fact that you were just like, fermented yeast spread.
Doesn't that sound like a good name for a band? It'd be like a pub rock band, you know? Like the old school Aussie pub rock band when ACDC was starting out.
Cover band.
Oh my god.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for fermented yeast spread.
Except they would go by FYS or something like that, and like it would be one of those things that like in the schoolyard be like, yeah, what do you think FYS stands for? And nobody would ever guess. Fermented yeast spread. Lathering a bread roll in icing and coconut.
Oh shit! I haven't had one of those in years. It's called like a finger bun. So good. Really
Finger
good.
bun.
Well, it's had multiple names here. So when I was growing up, they were called Chelsea buns, and I went to a bakery probably about a year ago and asked for a Chelsea bun, and the person had no idea what the fuck I was talking about. But yeah, they're called finger buns or something like that.
I misheard you.
What did you think I had? I said, please enlighten the class. Waiting, Heather.
Broken. I'm sorry.
Waiting. Now, the longer you take, the more I want to know. But yes, they're delicious. I'm surprised it hasn't brought up lamingtons yet. That's like a full-on Australian dish as well.
Okay, well, this is the last one on this list, and we'll look that up. What is big old circles of potato? And arguing about the name.
That's the potato scallops.
Oh, is that what you're talking about? Okay. Yeah, it says one of your things is frying up a bunch of giant circles of potato and arguing about the name.
Well, it's potato scallop because that's what you do. You scallop the potato. You do the really thin slices. But because of our accent, it's potato scallop. But yeah, in various parts of the country, it's scallop, potato cake. And yeah, like palmies, we will sit there and we'll argue about it. Because it's hilarious.
We have the same thing stateside with soda versus pop versus whatever. If you go to the southern regions of the United States, so where I'm at, and I think where you guys are at too, Ashley and Heather, it's mainly just pop is kind of just universal. When you get further south into like Florida or like Georgia, places like that, everything's called Coke. Doesn't matter. Yep. They treat it like it's Coke. It's become like Kleenex for every kind of tissue. The brand name is like doesn't matter. So like everything's Coke. Yeah, I'll have a Coke. What kind of Coke you want? Cola. I want to. Yeah. And so like if I go down to like one of my favorite places to go down is to like South Carolina, places like that, and I'm like, yeah, so give me some pop. They're like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, what the fuck is pop? Like, yeah. So we have some of that stateside too, where it's just like. People have no idea what you're talking about.
We call that soft drink here.
Soft drink.
Sounds fancy.
Oh, like a soft as opposed to your hard drink, which is alcohol, like your hard liquor.
And it's like I know. my parents travel a lot, and one of the things they learned, 20 something years ago, early on, is they went to Europe, and they learned that if you don't, like, if you ask for water to drink at the restaurant, if you don't specifically say still water, you're getting fizzy water every time, because that's just what they drink. They drink like carbonated water. That's just a thing that they serve with dinner. So you have to literally ask for still water, or you will get carbonated water every single time.
Yeah, it's like that in a few places here as well. I hate soda water, but it's cool.
I don't mind it. I've kind of grown, like, especially because, like, with the fasting and stuff I do, it's kind of a nice little treat to have that has no calories in it. But like, one of the best descriptors I've ever seen in my life is somebody said, carbonated water tastes like when your leg falls asleep.
Yeah. Like static.
And that's basically it. It's just like, and that's, it's just,
it's got this weird kind of chemically slightly bitter aftertaste though, which I just
it's like something about the carbonation just makes the taste, I don't know, it does something to the taste. I get that. So what was that, real quick before we forget, what was that thing you said you were surprised wasn't on the list?
A Lamington.
Lamington?
That's it's kind of like a sponge cake, which it'll have sometimes like cream and jam filling, and then like a cocoa, cocoa on the outside, and then sprinkled with coconut. And that's another Australian delicacy, I guess.
That looks pretty good. I can fuck with that.
It's
That looks pretty
delicious,
good.
Yeah.
All right.
Doesn't look fermented.
So
Actually, looks delicious.
So you're at a good barbie when you have your sausage sizzle and your lamingtons, and with a bit of pav for dessert.
Sausage sizzles and
smiling and nodding.
lamingtons. Sausage sizzles and lamingtons.
Yeah, you go for your barbie.
Sausage sizzles, lamingtons, and room temperature prawns.
It's funny, yeah. It's a barbecue, and we'll call it a barbie most of the time, but it's only when it's for a certain event that it suddenly becomes a sausage sizzle. I have no idea why. It's what we do. But we all instinctively know the difference between the two. It is our way.
It is our way. Oh man,
this is the way.
I feel like stateside, if I said if I was having a sausage sizzle, I might get a really interesting crowd.
Same place you're going for a Golden Gate time, right?
We're gonna have some Golden Gate times at a sausage sizzle. It's gonna be great. Sausage.
Ooh.
Sausage.
Saucy.
All right. So I cannot wait to make Daz go through all that nonsense, because that. Yep. I need to hear his 1,000 kilometers away take on all that bullshit.
Yeah, you'll have some differences, I can assure you. But I mean, this is how it's become a food podcast so far. Especially when you got people like me who will sit there and just start talking and trying to explain everything.
And the intention wasn't ever like, the intention was like, dinner time conversations. Like if we were all hanging out and having dinner and whatever, like that's what we would just whatever, we'll record whatever happens, and it just kind of started to roll into food. And it doesn't have to be only food, but food is
it's something to talk about instead of popping up the cigars and brandy.
Well, I said after episode 1, I said, so, we're going to have to do an episode on regional butt plugs. That'll be an episode we do at some point, and then we'll just go from there,
Get some funny ones here.
I'm not Googling regional butt plugs, just so everybody's aware. Like, we'll get kicked off YouTube for that.
You saved that for RedTube?
Oh yeah, by the way, Ashley, Heather, I forgot to tell you guys, me and Tim set up a RedTube account, and we have an OnlyFans for Family Style.
Oh boy.
Regional butt plugs.
Save lives. Phone dies.
That reminds me, like when Ryan originally was talking to me about Family Style, and he only approached me, asked me if I wanted to be a part of it. And I got straight into the joke of like, oh, what is it, like a kink fetish site, is it? Oh, stepbrother, help me, I'm caught in the cupboard. Oh, stepmother, I've got a girlfriend and I don't know what to do. Will you help me?
I was like, no, we were actually aiming more for family style dining, but you know what? Whatever. Whatever gets us attention.
It's just typical. My brain goes straight to the gutter. Sorry.
Straight to the gutter. Oh, I love it. I love it so much. All right, so weird Australian foods. We covered
cue the goat screaming.
And goats.
Cue the goat screaming. No, I think we need Kangaroo noises.
Kangaroo.
Kangaroo sounds. Let's see what we got.
Honk.
Honk.
Rib ticklers.
Joey calling for mom.
Oh, that's cute. I love
They make
kangaroos.
soft clicking noises.
That's not screaming.
I know. I was just fucking you.
Senses danger and calls her Joey. Very talkative.
Yeah, they make lots of little clicking noises.
Kangaroo
and stuff like
speak.
Hold them in the area.
that. Like a squeezy toy, like a dog squeezy
Yeah.
toy.
Disturbed, they growl.
That one looks like it's gonna fuck your day up.
Yeah, it's intimidating.
That is.
Yeah.
That is it.
That is
I think
amazing.
where I got the
terrifying.
honking from.
Or
That
when
is
That is a
very
male.
terrifying.
That's intimidating.
Now that
That's-
one's cute. That one's cute. I want to pet that one.
I don't.
Piercing scream.
Yeah, I would never go up.
Oh, there it is.
That's the shrieking that I was telling you about.
Okay, all right. Okay.
Thanks.
That other one that was doing that growling, that was a male, and it was someone had probably approached it or its family, and it was basically about to go whoever was there.
Yeah, it had the stance like get the fuck
Yeah.
away from
Oh, mate, some of the kangaroos here, they look like bodybuilders because they hop on all fours when they're not bouncing along. Like, they are built like a brick shit house. Like, they're fucking huge.
Oh, yeah, that
Like,
one did.
they look like they're like you. And there's plenty of stories of like out on like farming properties out in the country where a dog, like a sheepdog or a cattle dog, will go up and be barking at them, and then one of those roos will get it and strangle it. You know, like there's a video that's going around as well of like some farmer where a roo grabbed his dog and the farmer went up and punched it in the head. It sounds awful, but it's like, yeah, he basically saved his dog.
Yeah, I would not fuck with, like, what the fuck? Like, look at this shit.
Yeah.
Like, Jesus.
Like, they're more built than a lot of dudes, you know. Trust me.
Nope. No.
And the other thing a lot of people do is they go up because a lot of, roos are depicted in the media as these being these gentle creatures, and they are, a lot of them. But people forget that they've got these really incredibly strong legs. Like, they can fucking disembowel you, you know?
Oh,
like,
yeah, for sure.
You do not mess with them. I always give them a wide berth. If I go down to visit my parents where they live, like, they have kangaroos that'll be hopping around the street, like, because they're out kind of in a regional area, or they'll be lounging around in the sun and stuff like that. But if you ever see a male near them, I would just grab the dog and walk to the other side of the road and steer clear.
It's funny to me because, like, I guess we got, like, what do we got stateside? Like, if you get into some of the more, like, rural areas, you get deer. We have a whole bunch of deer, maybe.
Yeah.
That's basically it, outside of, like, birds and squirrels and shit like that. You know what I mean? Like, we have deer. And even then, like, it depends on where you're at. Like,
Yeah.
how far outside of the city are you? I think that's it. Deer and, like, birds. That's basically all we have stateside.
Pretty much.
Unless there's some, like,
so-
weird regional, like, Philly falcon thing that I don't know about.
Nope. Just
No.
even deers. I live in Bucks County. Is after deer.
Yeah.
That's just,
Well, I mean, the good thing about where I live, so I live south of Sydney, like on the southern outskirts of Sydney in New South Wales, and I am basically surrounded by national parks, which is absolutely beautiful. Like, I can walk about 3 minutes and I'm in the Royal National Park,
I love that.
which is yeah, that's it. Like, go for a bushwalk. It's the second oldest national park in the world. I think Yellowstone just beat it by like a couple of days. But I can go out there and there are wallabies, there are echidna, there are wombats, snakes. You know, it all depends. And
No rope.
we can introduce pests here, unfortunately.
Yeah. No, I'm close enough. Like, I'm in a spot where, like, I'm about 20 minutes south of, like, Detroit, which is, like, the most major city close to me. But then, like, if I go another 15, 20 minutes south, I'm, basically in, like, rural, woodsy. It's great. It's, like, the best of both worlds for me.
Yeah, I know, it's lovely. That's what I like about where I am. I'm probably 40-minute train trip away from the Sydney CBD, but I am literally surrounded by nature. Like, I don't even know. I've tried to keep the window closed because I've got all the cicadas out again, and they are loud as fuck. But yeah, it's great. It's like kind of as you go further south in Sydney, you get where the bush builds up and just the human footprint just gets smaller and smaller. And I'm right in that little peninsula surrounded by bush. It's beautiful, very peaceful.
Yeah, my parents have a little cottage on a lake that I've talked about before, and it's about 4.5 hours north of here, but it's way up in northern Michigan, like middle of the woods. Like closest town is like 30 minutes away. Like, fuck, that's perfect for me. It's like close enough to get what you need if you need to get it, but like, oh man, just quiet. It's perfect. Just nature. Anybody that's up there is like super chill and laid back because they fucking live in the middle of nowhere. Just love it. Love it.
Yeah, that sounds amazing. Being on the lake as well. Again, it's kind of one of those scenes out of like so many American movies that put out there of like, you know, the cottage or the lake house that you guys all seem to have. I don't know. Then, you know, some creature comes out of the fucking lake later on, or out of Heather's basement.
Heather's weird basement. Heather's gonna move to like Canada at some point. We're still gonna give her shit for her weird basement.
Yep,
Probably.
Yeah, there'll be like a moose in there or something this time instead of the spirits of dead children.
Don't say that. I want to be up all night.
We just want to play. Won't you play with us, Heather? They've got to have British accents too, because everyone knows that British accents make things sound creepier in horror movies.
I would agree with that. Yeah, I would agree with that.
Are you my mummy? Will you come and play?
Yeah, so if you guys hear me complain about being tired tomorrow, it's because Tim's horror stories kept me up all night. And
Would you prefer Ashley's
Slightest
customer service voice?
Mommy, come and play.
I want to hear like the slightest noise and not be able to sleep. Thank God I'm off tomorrow.
Me too. I am so happy that I'm off tomorrow. I worked all week this week. God damn.
Jesus.
Fuck that. I'm still on a few days off at the moment, thankfully. So it's next Tuesday. I'm back at work. So just trying to make the most of it while I can.
That's where I'm at. I'm off the next 2 days. I worked I was off, so we were closed on New Year's Day, so I was off that day, but then I worked Monday through Friday. I'm like, dude, I'm not cut out for Monday through Friday. I know people love, like, oh, I get the weekend off and everything else. I have a fucking day off in the middle there somewhere. Like, work 2 or 3 days at the most, and then I'm like, okay, I need a fucking day off.
I like to do those things like they're trialing in some of the Scandinavian countries of doing like a 4-day work week with the 3 days off.
Oh, that's
You
amazing.
get them all mushed together because everyone knows you work 5 days a week.
Yeah.
The first day of your weekend is trying to sleep in a little bit, and then you spend the rest of the weekend getting all your chores done, doing your shopping, running around after kids, whatever. And it's by the time you finally start to relax, you're back at work again. So you need that third day, motherfuckers.
I've previously, So, a typical work week stateside is like 40 hours is like full time. So 40 hours a week. So usually that's 5 8-hour shifts. And like I've had jobs in the past where it was 4 10-hour shifts. Fucking love that. I will gladly work an extra 2, 3, 4 hours to have more days off at the end of it. For sure. I'm already at fucking work. Fuck it. I'll stay for another 4 hours. I don't give a shit. If I can have like 3 or 4 days off, hell yeah, let's go.
I used to work in a hospital here, and they would do the similar thing. Like you could do your normal 8 hours, or you could condense it down and do 4 days of 10 hours, or sometimes 3 days of 12-hour shifts. But the 12 hours is a bit too much. Like especially working in a medical environment, or if you're on your feet all day.
12 is a bit much. 10, I think, is that sweet spot for me for sure.
Oh, yeah.
4 10s. Now, granted, now I'm salaried, so I work 50 hours a week, and it's like whatever. But when I could do 4 10s, that was chef's kiss.
Yeah, that was lovely. We are working at a hospital. It was, because of the unions and stuff like that. We have so you knew you were doing like your 7.5, 8 hours or your 10 hours. That's it. There was no expectation to work any longer, or if you did, you got overtime paid.
Yeah.
Like none of that. But since then, working salary roles as well, you always end up getting stuck there. It doesn't matter because the boss will always come and go, can you just hang around and just help with this?
it's, for me, like I was never, ever, like I started working in retail. So my very first job ever, I worked on an alpaca farm. I don't know if anybody knows what the fucking alpaca is.
I do.
Yeah, so they're from the the family of camelids, which is camels, llamas, and alpacas. And there's in this like really highfalutin like island that's by where I live. It's like this really highfalutin like millionaires and all this shit. There's this just for whatever reason somebody bought some property and they have an alpaca farm there. And it's because the animals are worth a shitload of money and their fleece is extremely expensive and stuff. So I ended up getting a job there because my doctor was the one that owned it. So he was just looking for help. So that was my first job, was in an alpaca farm. And then from there, I ended up going into retail, and it was just a job. And next thing you know, 20 years later, I'm still fucking working in retail. It just wasn't the plan. It just happened,
So you said highfalutin a second ago. What?
That's like a Southern thing.
I'm trying to be nice and let you finish your story, and I'm beating my brain.
That's kind of like it's more of a Southern thing, like an antebellum South, like, oh, they're highfalutin people over there. It's like, it basically means like richy bitch kind of, high end, fancy, yeah. Except over here, they say highfalutin. It's more of like a Southern belle kind of like, ooh, they're highfalutin over there, like, yeah.
My stars, they're highfalutin.
Yeah, it's kind of one of those things. But yeah, it's basically where I live. There's this like island community, and you have to go over like a bridge to get to it. And it's literally just like there's just a bunch of expensive ass houses and shit over there. And for whatever reason, I don't know how my family doctor back in the day was able to get an alpaca. It's still there too. They were able to get an alpaca farm with fucking livestock just zoned in on that island for some reason, which is the most bizarre thing. But yeah, so I spent a good year working on an alpaca farm.
So is a bridge like a drawbridge that they can raise to keep the peasants out?
It's a drawbridge, but it's not even really a drawbridge. It like turns to let boats in and out.
Like a pivot bridge, yeah.
Yeah, I live right off of the Detroit River. So the Detroit River is a massive waterway that connects like all the Great Lakes and shit like that. So yeah, it's got like a pivot bridge.
Keep the peasants out.
Keep out the peasants.
The unwashed masses.
Yes, all the plebes.
Except for those with their alpaca handling skills.
There you go. That was me. I was the guy that could handle the alpacas. Alpaca handling skills. That's what my resume says. It's, up under where you put like your brief summary of all of your skills. Leadership, communication, alpaca handling. That's the top of my list.
Alpaca wrangler, you should put. Makes you sound more powerful, more dominant, able to go for a leadership role.
Alpaca.
You are the company man, then, Ryan. You will be able to lead us forward. You are a wrangler.
Yes, that's me, the company man.
The alpaca wrangler.
Love it. Love it. Absolutely.
Hired.
Did you guys ever use, like, back in the day when MP3s and all of that were coming out? And no one had like a player. Did you ever use like Winamp?
Oh, hell yeah. It really whips the llama's ass.
That's it. So you said alpaca and my brain went, it really whips the llama's ass.
I need that voice. I need that voice narrating my life.
I need Morgan Freeman. No, I need Samuel L. Jackson.
There you go. Okay.
My life is a sword that deserves plenty of motherfuckers.
I was going to say a lot of motherfuckers, though. A whole bunch of motherfuckers. I'm a fan. I'm a huge fan of that.
God. Now, I don't know. Like, in terms of narration, it'd be good. What would you guys have as like a soundtrack, though?
Soundtrack. It depends, man. I think all of us are pretty much goddamn eclectic as shit. I think we all know that.
Yeah, I love that.
I was, sidebar funny story. So when we were putting together the Christmas playlist, I just distinctly remember Ashley being like, you guys don't have to use any of my songs. I know they're kind of more traditional. It's not going to really fit. And I was like, what do you think this is? Like, every playlist ever, I try to make as fucking all over the goddamn place as possible. What are you talking about?
Suggestions are all over the goddamn shop as well.
Yeah, like that's the whole point of this. So for those of you listening, one of the things we like to do in the Discord is periodically put together playlists where everybody sends songs in, and then I chop them up into a playlist on Spotify and YouTube and such. and such and whatnot, and basically try to make them as eclectic as possible. Crazy Metal and Janet Jackson and all over the fucking shop. And
Except for Nine Inch Nails, because we know that you don't like Nine Inch Nails.
and
You've got a thing against Nine Inch Nails.
and you were like, "Hey, I'm
Yes,
gonna make my
please
entire
stop.
playlist Nine Inch Nails," and you snuck one in on me.
You choose one. Bastard.
Yeah, I do what I do.
Good
What do you
thing I
want?
love you, Ryan.
I know. It's, it just
It's that long beard just makes me want to curl it between my fingers. And I notice that you're wearing a hat as well. And I don't know if it's a shame thing. You shouldn't be ashamed of that. We all do want to secretly rub our hand across the top of your head. But, there's no shame, Ryan. We still love you.
Yeah, that's what the beard's for too, because I have nothing going on up top, so I gotta.
We're compensating, but we love that about you.
I do what I do. What do you
I'm
want?
sorry, I'm being a dick now.
No, man, it's it's where we. I'm just gonna go ahead and just gonna. That's just, you guys, whatever happens. Enjoy the rest of your evening. I'm just gonna go ahead and
And he's fucked up.
and he's fucked up.
Nuggets.
He's going to deploy the anti-Tim editor later on, and pretty much every time I open my mouth, it's going to cut to the next scene.
No, I'm just gonna put a kangaroo over your face, and that's just gonna track your head.
He's going to shriek every once in a while.
It's just gonna be that really jacked kangaroo, and it's just gonna be you screaming every time you talk.
My life is complete now. I know what they sound like.
I wasn't lying when I said they shriek. They just don't shriek all the time.
I didn't not believe you. It's just I never heard a kangaroo.
You never know when I'm being serious either. Well, we've got a lot of Aussies have got a bad habit of just playing up to shit, especially when we're talking to non-Australians. You've said they make noise, and I'm like, yeah, of course they shriek. I'll just keep going with that. You won't know if I'm lying or not.
Oh.
Yeah, that's what it is, and you're like, oh shit, really? That sounds terrifying, and then that's just what it is.
Oh, yeah, I'm like, yeah, you should hear how it carries in the middle of the night where there's no noise around. You can hear that shit for miles.
See, I would think that'd be more scary than my basement.
No, I don't know.
I would agree.
Oh, a kangaroo in my basement.
I'd want to go down and dance with it.
All
would.
jacked up.
Yeah, we'll go down and I'll rip my shirt off. Come at me, bro. I'll just start flexing at it. When it sees my man boobs and starts shrieking and takes off in the opposite direction. Don't be afraid, little kangaroo. I won't hurt you.
And Nine Inch Nails play in the background because
Yeah, there you go.
it's Nine Inch
It always comes back to Trent Reznor. He's the man I'd switch teams for.
I love it.
Me too.
All right. Well, y'all, that was a good discussion. I enjoyed that. I'm very much looking forward to seeing where Dazzle goes with all that shit. Once again, we did an entire podcast almost exclusively about food.
Yeah. We'd be foodies.
It went well the last time. Everybody seemed to enjoy it. So let us know if you have any topics you'd like us to cover. FamilyStyleNetwork@gmail.com, or feel free to hop into the Discord. You can find that over at FamilyStyleNetwork.com. There's links to it there. Let us know if there's anything else you'd like us to talk about. Otherwise, we're probably just going to keep talking about food. Hey.
So if you guys pop into the Discord, all of us there are either admins or moderators, so you'll pretty much be talking to us straight away.
Very true. Very true.
And there'll be lots of random gifts and in-jokes, which we will explain to you. I promise.
So, the thought process, too, on that as we start to kind of open up the floodgates, so to speak, might do some different videos and stuff to kind of explain some of the Heather's weird toilet and shit like that. That's where some of the clips come in, too. We explained what Heather's weird toilet is on the last podcast. That'd be a good clip to have, or, explaining the origins of the sauce. Things like that.
The water ice.
We've
Water
also got
ice.
like our companion sites like the blog and stuff like that, which a few people have started writing for, myself included. And JJ's reviews happening on there now. Lovely.
Yes.
I threw the gauntlet down at him, and he stepped up to
He
it.
jumped right into it. He was like, you know what? I've already just been typing. I'm just going to go ahead and post it. And I was like, God damn. All right.
I know, it's the same thing. I'm like, fuck, all right, cool.
Yeah. You know, it was funny because he was just like, I got that movie just was intense. I'm kind of starting to type a little bit, but I'm going to have to process it. And then like an hour later, he was like, I've just been typing the whole time. I'm just going to go ahead and post it. And it was like, oh shit. All right. Cool.
Yeah, I know, right?
Great.
Yeah. That's my granddaughter.
Hello. Oh, I see a little blur hopping along in the background.
She's walking around going, ah, ha, 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 ha.
See, she's excited about the blog as well.
Yeah, she's
It's been
adorable.
amazing.
That's Bailey. She's adorable. She's probably my favorite person.
I won't tell Lady V you said that.
Oh, no, she knows. Veronica knows full well that Bailey is my favorite person.
Oh, Lady V is my name for Veronica. I just like the sound of it. Lady V.
Tim says your
It's
name
good,
is
it's-
Lady V to him. He refers to you as Lady V.
I like it.
She said she likes it. It's good. We're good.
There's a nice ring to it, especially when you roll it. Lady V.
Lady V.
Lady V.
Lady V. It's like
Lady V.
Celador, which is supposed to be one of the most beautiful words in the world, most beautiful phrases. Celador. Lady V. It's got a nice smooth ring to it.
I feel warm and fuzzy.
So you should.
Lady V.
I like it.
Lady V. Lady V.
Well, another good episode, guys. A lot of stuff coming down the pipe, everybody. A lot of stuff. It's been at the time that we're recording this, it's been about 2 weeks since we kind of launched, and it's already started. Like, there's a lot of traction. You know, Tim, before you hopped on, we were kind of talking a little bit, and we are surprised at how much everybody's really taken to everything. You know, there was a lot of consideration back and forth before we even launched this whole thing, where we were just like, dude, everybody's gonna think we're fucking crazy. Like, we figured, there was a good chance people would pop into, the new Discord server and kind of look around and be like, all right, but why? Like, we got all this stuff over here. What are we doing? And just everybody's taken to it. The podcast, the blog, people are starting to tiptoe around like, hey, I could maybe do some stuff. It's been really pleasantly surprising. We're really happy with how much rather everybody's taken to it.
I think some of the hesitation, and please let me know your thoughts on this, guys. I know some of the hesitation has probably been the fact that obviously we as a community started out somewhere else, and we've built up these relationships with each other there, but we weren't getting quite what we needed out of where we were and what we could do with it. So I know there was the worry that when we kind of popped over to this new area, it was like, oh fuck, is everyone going to think we're being really big dicks? Are we poaching people? It's like, no, it's nothing. Yeah. It's nothing like that. These are things that can run side by side. Yeah. So nobody needs to worry about that. Like,
100% agreed.
They're not cheating on the other server if they want to pop over here and have a chat. We'll have some things that are in one place, and then the rest of our crazy shenanigans are in the other place.
There was a lot of discussion. About that, and there's we all came together because of a certain podcast, Stoke the Fire is how we all got together, and I'm eternally grateful for that. Still support, still support Matt and Jesse, still support the podcast, but there was a lot of, as the community started to take off, there was a lot of just, it stressed us out, to be frank and honest, especially those of us here, there was stuff we wanted to do, but then it was we were having conversations I don't want to step on anybody's toes, the idea of this podcast, we don't want to start a podcast while we're using their server and doing all this. And it just seemed like we were maybe using them to, there was just a lot of ideas that we didn't want to step on toes. We didn't want to cause any issues or problems. We also realized that this community was just hugely, massively important. And there was a lot of potential for all this kind of stuff.
I think the phrase that I've used to you and probably to everyone on this chat is that for quite a while we were just bursting at the seams. We were barely held in with what we could do, but we were operating under constraints that, obviously, as I said, not wanting to do anything wrong by the wonderful people who started off the other area.
Agreed.
But I guess now, with yourself having started things off and Ashley getting behind it as well and you getting everything rolling, it allows us to I don't want to say shake off the shackles because that's not right, but just sort of get out there.
Well, and I know
just
what you mean. And so the
spread
thing
our
is,
wings
the
and fly.
the message to everybody is that, like, obviously, like, the other server's still up. We're still all there
Yeah.
too. But this new place, this new server, it's a permanent home. So, with Stoke the Fire, who knows what's going to happen with that? There was some conversation from Matt that if they weren't hitting Patreon goals and things like that, then maybe it's going to continue, but it'll be totally different. We didn't want to have to worry about, we wanted them to be able to do whatever it is that they need to do that's feasible for their platform. And we're still going to support that platform, but we recognize that we collectively as a family, as a group of friends we didn't want to
There's risk.
we didn't want to have to worry about that change happening. Stuff might happen. The boys might decide, this ain't really working out, and they might, turn coat and just say, we're not doing it no more. And that's fine. That's their prerogative. If that's what happens, it's just not working out. We didn't want to have to worry about that. So setting up this separate place allows us to, like Tim said, not free the shackles is a harsh way to say it, but we don't have to worry about stepping on toes. We don't have to worry about, making anybody upset. It's just us. We're the ones that are kind of steering the ship here. And it lets us, it frees us up to do things like, let JJ start jumping in and doing reviews. He said the other day, he was like, it's kind of mind blowing to see my work on a website. That's crazy.
Yeah.
And,
that made me smile.
Yeah,
when
me
I
too.
saw
And
that made me really happy.
So for us, this place is a permanent home that no matter what happens elsewhere, we still love Stoke the Fire. We love the boys, and we still support them hardcore. But no matter what happens over there, if they decide to retire after season 3 or whatever it is, this place is permanent and it still exists. It's not going anywhere. But more so than that was the initial plan. But from there, it evolved into, let's do a podcast. We can actually do a podcast now. It's because it's our own thing. We're not going to be stepping on toes. And then it turned into, I'm a madman. So I was just like, yeah, we got a website now because fuck it, why not? And hey, we got a blog now. Fuck it, why not? And so it's a creative outlet. We're setting a foundation for people to just jump in. Like I said, Justin's thing was like, I'll post some stuff on maybe Facebook and then, maybe people will read it. But, giving him an outlet to be like, hey, it's on a website now, that mattered. That was kind of, and now he's like, the wheels are turning. He's like, hey, we could start doing stuff like that. And that's kind of where we're at too. Like my mind is, Ashley can tell you, the amount of ideas that are going on it's a problem. But the sky's the limit.
It's
and
not.
Anybody
Absolutely agree. Yeah, I'm the same as well. I'm thinking of like some of because I've been running with some of the technical stuff lately. And I'm thinking of I've set up one lately that as soon as someone posts something on the blog, it fires off a note through the Discord to let everybody know, and it's got a thing. I'm sitting there going, what else can I do? What else can I do? Yeah.
Yeah, and that's everybody's firing on all cylinders. I mean, Jesus, Heather's a podcaster, and 5 months ago I couldn't get her on a video call.
That's it. Right. You go, girl.
And Ashley episode 1 didn't want to be too podcasty, and now she's sitting here with a condenser mic. She was threatening to hold it like this. She was just going to hold it, and she was going to talk and.
Like this, just hold it the whole time.
That's how she talks fancy.
Right here.
If it's not gangster, it's fancy.
Doing the customer service voice.
No, my headset died, so I have to figure out a new one next time, but it's different.
But anyway, for us, sky's the limit. We're happy to be here. This is episode 2, and this is one of many. We've got some other stuff coming down the pipe. Obviously, we're working out the blog. It's a work in progress. We're just going to start posting content, and we're going to start building this out and continue just going to the moon is what I keep saying. Another podcast will be probably launching here within the next few weeks. It's a podcast I used to do back in the day called Nerdgasm All Over. And it's a podcast where we mainly discuss nerdy shit. So video games and movies and music and such. This podcast.
Sticky.
What's that?
I said sounds sticky.
Sticky. Nerdgasm. Anyway, God damn it. This podcast, the Family Style Podcast. I know, I was rolling and then you fucked me up. This podcast, the Family Style Podcast, will continue. I think what we settled on is like every 2 weeks. We'll probably do 4 to 5 different guests. So myself, Ashley, Heather, and then a rotating 4th and or 5th chair. Anybody that wants to be involved at this point, now I'm probably going to regret saying that one day when this takes off and there's like 1,000 people listening, but anybody that wants to be involved, reach out, jump into the Discord server. That's the other big piece of this that we really wanted. Love the community that is built up because of the podcast that we all supported. But we wanted a place where we could continue to like, I wanted to get friends into that community, but it's hard when it's behind a paywall. And it's like, hey man, join this place, but you got to pay, whatever a month. And it's hard that's a hard sell. Like, hey, it's great. I've got friends over there. It's awesome. But like, I got to pay for the friends I have over there is what it sounds like. And we didn't want that. So share it with your friends, share it with your family, anybody and everybody's welcome. Just don't act like a dick. And we won't have any problems. And if you want to get involved, reach out. Reach out to me, Tim, Ashley, Heather, any of us. What you're looking at right now, this core group of people, this is all of the admins and moderators right now that exist for Family Style. And that group will grow as we grow. But this is all the admins and moderators. So if you want to get something in, if you've got an idea, you want to do a video series, you want to just hop on and do some YouTube videos, you want to work and write on the blog, you want to hop on the podcast, you have an idea for your own podcast, reach out to this group. Hop into the Discord, FamilyStyleNetwork.com. All the links and stuff are right on that homepage. Jump in, join us, and to the moon, baby. To the moon.
Join us.
Join
Part of
us.
Join our
the
cult.
family.
Join the family. Join our cult.
I keep saying the family because it sounds like a fucking cult, but join us.
Play with us.
Mummy, come and play with us.
Play with me. Yeah.
I know you said like your good rule a moment ago about don't be a dick. I know we've never talked like server rules or anything on the Discord yet.
Yeah.
But I was going to say that if we ever did, number one should just be don't be a cunt.
Yeah.
Because I think it's pretty straightforward. Everyone knows what that means.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. No. Rule number one: don't be a cunt. We'll get that in. That'll be like the thing that pops up in the welcome page. Welcome to Family Style. Welcome home, and don't be a cunt.
I also just wanted an extra number one to go onto my cunt counter.
It's racking up now.
Racking up cunts. Oh, well, guys, it's a record-breaking episode for us. We're almost at 2 hours now.
Thanks for Devin.
Yeah, good time. Oh, there. Oh, where'd she go?
You missed that one.
I did. What'd you say?
You're talking about racking up the cunts and lining up. I said, "What's the face full of Devin?"
Face full of Devin. That's going on the soundboard.
And you got to run it all together. Face full of Devin. Like, what a fucking dingus.
What a fucking dingus. All right. Yeah, I got to transplant all the stickers over to the other server too now. So we have those to use. But anyways, join us, please, by all means. FamilyStyleNetwork.com. FamilyStyleNetwork@gmail.com if you want to email us. Hop into the Discord. Get involved. Listen to the episodes. Check our stuff out. We're getting some traction on like YouTube and whatnot. It's great. Loving it. But anyways, that is going to wrap up this episode of what I'm hoping is becoming your favorite podcast, which may or may not 2 months from now still be about food. I don't know. We're going to find out. It might still be about food. That's the trend so far. It tends to be a whole lot of food and then a little bit of discussion at the end that's not food related. So we're going to see how that goes. But the overall idea is we're just sitting around the dinner table and you can join us and have a seat at our table and we all eat dinner together and just hang out. But may or may not be about food going forward. We'll see.
Shooting the shit. Thanks for having me, guys. It was amazing. I loved it. Big love to you all.
Thanks for coming on.
Absolutely.
Thanks for coming.
I was so excited.
All right. Well, as always, I am your host, Ryan. I'm sitting with the boss of sauce, Ashley.
Philly gangster.
Philly gangster, the boss of sauce.
Sauce.
The, I don't know, the boss of toilets and salads, Heather.
What is
That's
it?
so wrong.
Pennsylvania Death Postman.
I want a better title next episode.
All right, I will let you think that through, and then in a couple of weeks we'll reconvene on your title.
Pennsylvania.
Oh, and our resident, not so creepy most of the time, but sometimes you never know because he says weird things like face full of Devin, Uncle Tim.
Love you guys. Thank you.
We love you as well. And yeah, happy to be here and cannot wait to do it again. Bye.
Bye.